Hello everybody, welcome to a newest edition of Metal Math. We're going to be continuing on with fractions and decimals today. Alright, we are on section 9.6 today. Title of today's lesson is Add Fractional Parts of 10 and 100, lesson 9.6, pages 527 and 528. In your Go Math books. You can find that on Think Central, right? Because I never had a chance to hand them out to you. Okay, here we go. Today's essential question is, how can you add fractions when the denominators are 10 or 100? Okay? Unlock the problem. The fourth grade classes are painting designs on a tile square to make a mural. Mrs. Kirk's class painted 3/10 of the mural. Mrs. Becker's class painted 20/100ths of the mural. What part of the mural is painted? Okay, first thing we have to look at here is you have two different fractions, 3/10 and 20/100ths. You can't add them because they have different denominators. We have to find a common denominator. Okay, step one, write 3/10 and 20/100ths as a pair of fractions with a common denominator. Okay, like we were just talking about, you need to find that common denominator first. Well, our denominators are 10 and 100. And if you think about that, you should realize that 100 is a multiple of 10, so therefore we can use 100 as our common denominator. So what you have to do first is, you have to take 3/10 and turn that into a fraction that has 100 as a denominator. How do we do that? Look at our denominator. Our denominator is 10. So to make it 100, we have to multiply it by 10. Whatever we do to the denominator, we do the numerator. So if we multiply the denominator times 10, we multiply the numerator times 10. 3 times 10 would equal 30. Therefore, the fraction would be 30 over 100. Okay? Now in step 2, we just add the two fractions. They have a common denominator now, so we can do it. We have 30 over 100 plus 21 over 100. Now remember, you don't add the denominators. Right? It's a common denominator. It stays 100. Add your numerators. 30 plus 21 is 51. Therefore, 51 over 100 or 51/100ths is the answer. So 51/100ths of the mural has been painted. Okay, now there's a try this problem. There's actually two try this problems there for you. We are going to find 4/100ths plus 1/10. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to find that common denominator. So if you have a second, just look at the page. 4/100ths plus 1/10. 100, it's a multiple of 10. We can keep the 100 as our common denominator. So we have to turn the 1/10 into something over 100. 10 times 10 is 100. We did that to our denominator. Do the same thing to the numerator. 1 times 10 is 10. Therefore, we have 10/100ths. Now what you do next, you can add because we have a common denominator. 4/100ths plus 10/100ths equals 14/100ths, and that would be your answer. Okay? I did a diagram on the board here for you. I'm going to bring it over and show it to you. Okay, let's just worry about this side of the board for now. Let me back up so you can get a good angle of it. And there it is. Okay? And it shows you by steps what to do, one step at a time. That's example number 1. Like I said, if you want, pause your screen so you can see each step. Okay? All right, now we're going to move on to example number 2, which is on the next page. Okay, page 528. And we have a new problem now. This one says, Sean lives 5/10 of a mile from the store. The store is 25/100ths of a mile from his grandmother's house. Sean is going to walk to the store and then to his grandmother's house. How far will he walk? Okay, it's an addition problem. We have two decimals. We have 0.5, which is 5/10. we want to add that to 0.25, which is 25 hundredths. Okay, once again, we have a situation here because if we turn these into fractions, which is what you should do first, convert these to fractions. 5 tenths, 5 over 10. 25 hundredths, 25 over 100. Two different denominators again, but you're all experts by now, figuring it out. Our denominators are 10 and 100. 100 is a multiple of 10, so we can use that as our common denominator. We want to turn those into fractions that have the same denominator. So first step, step 1, we write them out as fractions. 5 over 10, 25 over 100. Now we want to find the common denominator. So we take our 5 tenths and we can multiply that by 10 over 10, which would give us 50 over 100, or 50 hundredths. Okay. Now you can write them out. We now have 50 hundredths plus 25 hundredths. Add those two. Remember, don't add the denominators. They stay 100. But 50 plus 25 equals 75. So our numerator is 75. Our denominator is 100. Therefore, the correct answer written as a decimal would be 75 hundredths, which is 0.75. Okay, and I'm going to show that to you on the board as example 2. Just bear with me here. Okay, there is example number 2, showing you all the steps. Okay, and that's how you can add 5 tenths plus 25 hundredths and come up with your answer as a decimal. Okay? All right. That's it for today. We will have a new video for the next lesson, which is going to be probably tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll try to get the video for you tomorrow. Okay? Have a great day, and I will see you soon.